Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. For today's video I thought maybe I should do a little sit down and chat video because I'm in the mood for one of those. So I thought why not talk about the concerts I've been to, because I love talking about concerts and all of my friends and my family are probably sick of me talking about all of the concerts that I've been to. So why not talk to a camera about it? So that's basically what we're gonna do today. I've been to 8 concerts and 1 festival, and I am so grateful that I get to go to all of these concerts. It's like one of the best things in the world. I love going to concerts, so I'm very grateful for that. And the very first concert that I have ever attended was the Louis Tomlinson World Tour in Berlin. I went with my sister and with a friend of hers. It was so fun. It was the best concert ever, especially the best first concert. The very first artist that I actually saw live was Only the Poets, because they were the opening act for Louis, and that was so cool. I instantly fell in love with them. Like the day after the concert, I kept listening to their music because it was so slay. And the concert itself was so fun. It was such a good first concert. I mean, seeing Louis was just the best. I got a bunch of merch, as I always do. I got that poster up there, and I also got the hoodie and the t-shirt that they sold. Yeah, the show itself was really great. Louis always slays. He played amazing songs. I was so glad that I went to that tour because I heard Only the Brave live. It felt so unreal, because I have been a fan of Louis and One Direction in general since 2020. So seeing him live was like crazy to me. I didn't believe that they were actually real. And then the same year, I actually went to Harry Styles' Love and Tour in Hamburg, and that was crazy. We drove to freaking Hamburg for that show, but my mom, my sister, and I, as a reference, I live in the middle of Germany, so it takes I think 4 hours or something by car to drive there, which, I mean, it's not that much, but for a concert, we got merch the day before because it was an early merch thing, and I got that poster. And I also got, what did I get? I got 2 t-shirts and a tote bag, I think, which honestly, I have to say, one of those t-shirts I wouldn't buy again because it is the As It Was t-shirt with Harry on it. And I mean, it's a cute t-shirt, but I never wear it. I only wore it a few times. And I also got the Love on Tour t-shirt that everybody has. But I love that one, it's so cute. And the opening act for that tour, or for that show, was Wolf Alice, which was cool because they have one song that is on Heartstopper, and I love that show, so that was cool hearing that song live. I don't really follow that band anymore, but they were a good band. I liked them. And then Harry also slayed. He held a My Body, My Choice t-shirt. He did a gender reveal. We had everything at that show. He helped a fan come out. It was such a fun show. So absolutely loved that one. And then Love on Tour continued for years. I feel like it's crazy how long the tour was. But the year afterwards, we went, so in 2023, we went to the Harry Styles Love on Tour show in Munich, night 2, because he had 2 shows in that city. So we drove down to Munich, and it's also a 4-hour car drive, I would say. And a friend of mine and my sister and my mom, we all drove. Well, my mom drove, but we all went to the concert, actually all of the 4 of us, so that was really fun. And the opening act was Wet Leg, which they slayed. They absolutely slayed. And I don't really listen to their music that much, but sometimes it's just a vibe. Harry, honestly, I feel like that outfit from that show was one of the best outfits of the entire tour. I mean, that's my opinion. I just absolutely loved that outfit. It was so great, screaming my heart out to Sign of the Times at that show. And Fine Line, oh, he played so many good songs at that tour. I was literally in tears afterwards. I don't really know why, because I usually don't cry directly after a concert or something, but something hit me at that point. I don't know what it was, but I literally just started sobbing the second that he stepped off stage. Nobody knows why, but it was a moment. So I got, no, you can't see the poster that I got because it's behind my door. I got that poster. And I also got the like sweater with like the 2021, 22, and 23 thing on it. And I love that sweater. It's so comfortable. Honestly, one of the best merch sweaters. And then the same year in October, my sister and I went to the Louis Townsend Faith in the Future World Tour, which was honestly one of the best shows I've ever been to. I say that about every concert, but still. It was such a great show. The opening act were The Academic, which I love. They're such a great band, and I listen to their music all the time. And then the other opening act was the Latham's, I think, but I wasn't really feeling their music, to be honest. They weren't for me, but most of the crowd was like really hyped up to see them. I didn't really know who they were, and I only listened to the Academics music before because I didn't know that there were two opening acts. Lottie and Lewis, so her husband, are they married? I don't know. Her fiance, husband, something like that, were at the show. It was such a good set list, and I love Louis. He also covered 505, which was so cool. That was slay. And his outfit, oh, he wore a tank top. It was such a good show. And the merch that I got, what did I get? I got this poster, but not at the concert itself because it was sold out. There was actually a different poster at the show, but I ordered this one online because I really wanted one because I love collecting posters from concerts that I've been to, so I had to do it. The green like sweatshirt, that was the one that I got with like Faith in the Future on it. And then last year, so in 2024, my sister, two friends of mine, and I went to Niall Horan, the show live on tour, also in Berlin, and it was so good. I was so stoked to see him live. As you might be able to tell, we go to like every artist's Berlin show because Berlin is like the closest big city to us, like big city where concerts are. So we usually tend to go to Berlin. I actually forgot who the opening act was, which I'm very sorry about. I'm going to put like the name somewhere, but they were pretty good. I liked them, but they had more like mellow music, I would say. Niall, absolutely loved it. He wore like a black blazer and like pant set and like a white tank top underneath, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to take that blazer off at some point during the show, and I was right. I don't remember what song it was, but at some point he took the blazer off and was in his tank top and looked absolutely gorgeous because that man is just gorgeous. I mean, I got, oh, he didn't have a poster, which I was so sad about. I was like, no, Niall, give me a poster, I need it. But he didn't have one, so now I have, you can see, but I have like a little bow up there, right there, that little bow, which was the bow that I wore like in my hair at the concert. I got the This Show Is For Lovers sweater and also the like greenish t-shirt. And then also last year, only I think it was like exactly 4 weeks after the Niall concert, my sister and I went to the Only the Poets One More Night tour, and it was the show in Leipzig that they had. The opening acts, they absolutely slayed. They were like one of my favorite opening acts ever, which is funny to say because my favorite opening act ever was Only the Poets, but now that was the first time I saw them headlining a show, and it was so fun. They were the first artist that I saw live, so that's kind of crazy that I still listen to their music so much. But yeah, their opening acts were Alfie Jukes and Lauren Hibbert, and let me tell you, they were some of the best opening acts ever. I actually met her afterwards, which was so cool. And I also got like the t-shirts she sold at that show, and she signed it for me, and it was so sweet. And the Only the Post show was everything I could have ever wished for and more. It was so amazing because the energy in the room was so, it's just unmatched. Like an Only the Poets show is something you just have to experience. It's so good. And they also played a few like unreleased songs. And then for Every God I Pray To, they like Clem and Tommy came into the middle of the room and performed that song, and I was like, oh my god, they're standing like 3 feet away from me, what the fuck? And I don't know if it were 3 feet because I don't know how far 3 feet are, but it was more like 3 meters or 4 meters or something, just so you know. So yeah, that show was so fun. I got the One More Night hoodie from Only the Poets from that show. I got that poster up there, which is signed, I might add. I mean, that's cool. I got the One More Night hoodie and I got the One More Night t-shirt that's like purple-ish. So yeah, I really love that t-shirt. I think it's one of the cutest merch pieces I have because like the color combo just screams my name, so I love that. My sister got the like what the like Only the Poets t-shirt with like it goes like I don't know. It's also cute. So that was the merch from that show. It was quite a lot, I have to say, which is pretty bad for my bank account, but whatever. That same year, my sister and I and some friends of hers, we went to the Alfie Duke Spring Tour in Berlin. Where else would we go, right? And that's where I got that poster right here. And I absolutely loved that show as well. It was so fun. And I also got the like white t-shirt that he had, which I love that t-shirt. It looks so cool. And his opening act was Leanne Lawrence, who was really sweet. She was so fun. And we also met Leanne Lawrence. Alfie slayed that freaking show. It was just so good. I loved that show. And afterwards we got to meet him, which I was so excited about. That was one of the best moments. And then also last year was crazy. Oh my god, I went to so much stuff. I went to 3 concerts and 1 festival last year. And the festival that I'm talking about was the Super Boom Festival in Munich. And that was so much fun. It was the first festival I've ever attended, and honestly, it was like the best first festival. We saw Tokyo Hotel, we saw Provinz, some like German artists, obviously because it's like a German festival. We saw Zartmann and Berg. The reason that I went to that festival, I went with a friend of mine, and the reason that I went to that festival was Louis freaking Tomlinson, Niall freaking Horan, and Only the Freaking Poets. That was like my dream lineup for anything. I was standing at the barricade at his show when he performed, and I was so freaking excited about that. There was a girl that was at the barricade and she noticed that I was like really excited, and she asked me if I wanted to go to the barricade and like swap places with her, and I was freaking out. That was so cool. Like standing barricade, that was the first time that I've ever been barricade at any show I've been to, so that was really cool. And yeah, Niall Slade, he wore like the cutest outfit. It was so slay. And then the next day we saw Louis, and it was the same. We went to the front, but we got to like row 6. He noticed our sign. We had like a sign that said like something about getting the drumsticks for rock, paper, scissors on one side, and the other side said like flip us off, and he was like no both times, but it was still cool. And it was such a good show. It was his last show that he had last year, and I was very excited. It was so cool to see him live again. I love that man. His music, it's just so good. Directly after the Louis show, we actually headed over to a different place and we saw Only the Poets, and I loved that. It was so fun. I love Only the Poets, if you can't tell. It was really, really fun, and I'm pretty convinced that Tommy waved at me because I was like, and he waved directly in my direction, and I'm convinced he waved at me, even though I was like pretty far in the back, but still, he waved at me, and let's just leave it at that, okay? So yeah, that was really, really cool. It was such a fun night. And also, I have to say that Niall Horan and I, and Louis Tomlinson and I, had eye contact. Okay, you guys? So, we had eye contact, and I mean, we're basically best friends at this point, so what else do we have to say about that? I mean, that's just all I want in life, you know? I actually got a t-shirt from the festival, which was like a Niall t-shirt that just said like the show and had like a picture, and it was really cute, so I bought it in an extra large because they didn't have any other sizes, because I went there in the evening to buy the shirt, like after the show. So yeah, that was my bad, but I still wear it because it's cute. And other artists that were also there were like Sam Smith, Crow. It was a really fun festival, really cool, very amazing first experience at a festival. And then my most recent concert that I've been to was Only the Poets, the Holding On to Memories tour in Munich, which you might have seen in my last video. Yeah, I traveled to Munich for that one, went with my sister, and it was the best time of my life. It was so amazing. I mean, the show itself was so freaking good. Kim Mercer, the opening act, slayed. He was so sweet and funny, and he also covered This Town by Nile, which was so cool. And the show itself was so good. I honestly had like no clue what songs they were going to perform. I knew that there were going to be a few new songs and other stuff, but I honestly had no idea what the setlist was. And I was so surprised when I heard like the entire Better on the Internet EP and I Don't Want to Be Your Friend and Crash and things like that, because I was not expecting that. I don't know, I was loving it. And also the new songs they played, like Sake, Hate That I'm in Love. It's called Hate That I'm in Love, not You Hate That I'm in Love, okay, OTP? Let's just get that straight. Because there's like a little war going on between the fans and OTP, that OTP say that the song is called You Hate That I'm in Love, but all of the fans are like, no, it's called Hate That I'm in Love. That was an amazing show. Clem and Tommy also came into the middle of the crowd to perform Waking in the Dark, which was something that I didn't know I needed, but it was so good. And yeah, I had the time of my life once again. And then afterwards, I actually got a guitar pick. If you want to know the whole story about how I got that, watch my last video because it was crazy. But yeah, and then afterwards, we met Clem, Marcus, and Rue, and I talked to them. What? I mean, that was crazy. I am very grateful that I'm able to go to all of these concerts, and a lot of them were like birthday gifts and stuff like that. And I'm grateful that my parents don't have a problem with my weird music obsession and let me go to all of these concerts, because I love going to concerts. It's like, I don't know, just like the community, and it feels like such a safe place. It's just the best. So I absolutely love that. That is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed me rambling about concerts and my obsession with going to concerts. If you did, maybe like, comment, or subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this type of content, like me talking about concerts or like stuff like this in general, where I just sit down and talk about random stuff, definitely let me know. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!